After Tony was released from the hospital and placed in jail to await his trial, Tony recanted his admission, stating that he had no longer had any memory of what he had done, and that he was not of sound body or mind when he had been questioned originally. Despite the fact that he knew things that only the killer would have known, the fact that he lived with his family's dead bodies for so long that they started to decompose around him, he was now claiming his own innocence, stating Megan had killed the children and then herself, and that he had been in a fugue state after, completely traumatized. Tony stated his initial confession was made while he was under duress, directly after a suicide attempt, and that he essentially had no idea what he was talking about. He then went further to claim that he had no idea and absolutely no memory of what had happened between when he arrived in Florida to the week after he entered prison. He has gone back and forth on this statement, saying he has no memory of certain events, then going to talk about them in extreme detail. Tony has continued to make various statements like this one to various people, all of which negate previous statements, or build upon them, but it's unclear of what really happened. According to one of Tony's statements, Megan asked him to go to their condo to retrieve a necklace for Zoe. He went over to the condo. However, he forgot his key, and rather than return to the house to retrieve it, he stayed at the condo for upwards of 2 hours looking for it. He then went back home, where Megan was presumably killing the children, and got a crowbar. He then returned to the condo, used the crowbar to open the door, and spent the next couple of hours looking in earnest for the Mickey Mouse necklace. He couldn't find it, but was so exhausted from his search that he accidentally fell asleep at the condo, only to wake up the next morning and return home. When Tony returned home, he found that Megan had killed the children, using what he classified as Benadryl pudding pie. She had killed the kids and told Tony that she was going to be killing herself as well. Instead of calling the police to try and get his family any medical attention, Tony stated that he couldn't because she had hidden all the phones and didn't want to abandon her while she was passing. While he was looking for a phone to get help, he stated he heard Megan stab herself in the stomach. However, this didn't kill her. She instead walked around the house doing various things before stabbing herself once more and asking Tony to smother her to death. Tony stated that she had put a pillow in his hand and tried to force him to press it down on her face, hard enough that she died. He couldn't do it. According to him, she mocked him for it, before she finally died. This statement cannot be true, given that when the police had gone to the condo to do a welfare check on the family, they found no signs of a break-in and nothing to give them probable cause to think anything was wrong. If Tony had entered the condo the way he said that he did, using a crowbar instead of a key, there would be damage to the door and evidence of a break-in, leading the cops to enter. However, we know this wasn't the case. It also cannot be true because later, when Tony was in prison, a family member went to the condo in order to pack some of the family's things, and they found the necklace, and it was exactly where Tony stated he had looked, meaning that it was unlikely he had looked for it at all. It also is unlikely to be true because medicines like Benadryl lose their potency and effectiveness when they are put at any extreme temperatures. So if Megan were to bake Benadryl into a pie, the way Tony stated, that would require it be put in an oven at extreme temperatures.